Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today, we're going to do an oral and written retell of the fairy tale Yeh-Shen, and we're going to do a turn and talk routine where I ask you questions about 4 important pictures and events from the story, and you're going to think, and then you're going to pair up with a partner either at home or you can be my partner, and then you're going to share out in a complete sentence or sentences using the sentence frames or sentence stems I've given you. So before we get started, let's review our vocabulary words. Task. A task is a job or an assignment. Task. Number 2, glimmering. The root word is glimmer. Somewhat shiny, twinkling, glimmering. Number 3, served. The root word is serve, and served is past tense, given to someone, prepared and offered. Number 4, content, feeling happy and satisfied. Content. Number 5, worn, old or used, worn. Number 6, overjoyed. That is a compound word with an ed ending, so it's past tense, overjoy, and overjoyed is past tense. Very happy, very excited, overjoyed. Number 7, concealed. The root word is conceal. Past tense is concealed, unable to be seen, hidden from view. And number 8, valuable, worth a lot of money, precious. And that comes from the word value. It's valuable. So, Yeh-Shen is a Chinese fairy tale. And fairy tales have things like good versus evil, once upon a time, royalty. Fairy tales teach lessons. Lots of times it's a far, far away imaginary land. There's groups of 3 or 7, and there's words like, and they lived happily ever after, and there's magic. So something that can't happen in real life. So if you have a partner at home or you're my partner, here's our turn and talk rules. If you have a partner at home, you're eye to eye and knee to knee. If you're my partner, first one person talks, the other person listens. So make sure you listen to what I say. And then number 3, the next person talks, the other person listens. And number 4, do not talk too long on your turn or your partner will not have enough time to have a turn. For each picture, I may ask you, what do you notice or see, and how are they the same or similar? Or you may agree or disagree with your partner or with me, Mrs. Pearson, and you say, I agree with you because, or I disagree with you because. So here's our learning target. I can retell the fairy tale Yeh-Shen with my partner using pictures, words, and sentences. So read it again with me. I can retell the fairy tale Yeh-Shen with my partner using pictures, words, and sentences. Success criteria. That means how will you be successful at reaching your target? So every lesson is like climbing a mountain and we want to reach the top of the mountain. So here are our steps for success. I will, number 1, answer the talk about it questions. I will, number 2, say and match the main characters and setting. Number 3, I will write or match the lesson or moral of the story. Number 4, I will put the retelling pictures in the correct sequence. And number 5, I will write or match the sentences to each picture, saying what happened first, later, last. So here's our first retelling picture. Look closely. If you were to go to the Journeys textbook for 2nd grade, you could reread page 458. Who do you notice in the picture? And where are they? What's the setting? And what is happening? So think about that. And then I'll ask you this question. Number one, how is Yeh-Shen different from her stepsister, June Lee? How is Yeh-Shen different from her stepsister, June Lee? So Yeh-Shen is different from June Lee because but her stepsister, so say one way Yeh-Shen is different and one way that her stepsister is different. Well, Yeh-Shen is different from June Lee because she is a hard worker, she doesn't complain, and she's kind. But her stepsister is selfish and spoiled and is not a hard worker. So I guess that's more than one way. Number two, why do you think Yeh-Shen's stepmother treats her so poorly? So why does Yeh-Shen's stepmother treat her so poorly? I think the stepmother treats Yeh-Shen poorly because, well, I think the stepsister treats Yeh-Shen poorly because she's not her actual daughter. She's the stepdaughter, and she only thinks about her, and the stepmother is selfish and only thinks of herself and her um, real daughter, and she is selfish. Here's the next picture. What do you notice or see in this picture? Who is in the picture and what is happening? And also, where are they? You can reread page 459 to find this picture. And our question is, who is Yeh-Shen's only friend and why? Who is Yeh-Shen's only friend and why? So our sentence stem is Yeh-Shen's only friend is because. So say that in a complete sentence. Yeh-Shen's only friend is because. So Yeh-Shen's only friend is this magical fish because Yeh-Shen works so hard she doesn't have time for friends. So why do you think Yeh-Shen's stepmother does not want her to have any friends? So why do you think Yeh-Shen's stepmother does not want her to have any friends? So the stepmother doesn't want Yeh-Shen to have friends because. Well, I think the stepmother doesn't want Yeh-Shen to have friends because then Yeh-Shen may think differently and stick up for herself. And also, I think the stepmother doesn't want Yeh-Shen to have friends because the stepmother is selfish and only wants Yeh-Shen for herself to do all her work. Here's our third retelling picture. You can reread pages 462 to 463 to learn more about it. And look closely at the picture. What do you notice or see? And who is in the picture? And where are they? And what is happening? So, number one, where did Yeh-Shen's beautiful clothes come from? And what does she leave behind at the festival? So, where did the clothes come from and what does she leave behind? So, here's our sentence stem. She got the clothes from, she leaves behind. So, say that out loud. She got the clothes from, she leaves behind. So she got the clothes from the magic fish bones that she buried in the 4 pots. She asked for a wish. She wished for beautiful clothes, and the fish bones gave them to her. And once she went to the festival, she decided to leave before her stepmother saw her. So she left behind a silk slipper. So if you could have one wish, what would it be and why? So that's not completely related to the story because it's what you would wish for. So say, I would wish for because. So if I could have one wish, I would wish for um, peace and in the world, and that everyone would have a home and be fed. Because I believe it's important for everyone to be fed and to have food to eat and also to have a home to live in so they feel safe and warm. Here's our last retelling picture. Notice who's in the picture. What do you notice or see? Who is in the picture and where are they and what's happening? You can reread page 465 in the textbook to find out. Also, here's our question. What good qualities does the king see in Yeh-Shen when she isn't dressed in beautiful clothes? Remember, the king saw her try to get the slipper, and she saw her in rags. So what good qualities does the king see in Yeh-Shen when she isn't dressed in beautiful clothes? So I said the king sees that Yeh-Shen is blank and blank. So think of 2 good qualities. The king sees that Yeh-Shen is, well, I would say the king sees that Yeh-Shen is kind and a hard worker and possibly honest. So, how were the stepmother and stepsister punished for treating Yeh-Shen so poorly? How were they punished at the end of the story? The stepmother and stepsister were punished by. So, if you remember at the end, the stepmother and stepsister were punished by never being able to visit Yeh-Shen and the king in the castle, and they had to live the rest of their lives in the cave. So, let's reflect on our learning. And actually, you're going to complete the retell with me. So, let's just look here. Our learning target is I can retell the fairy tale Yeh-Shen with a partner using pictures, words, and sentences. So 4 would be I could teach this lesson. I easily answered the questions with my partner and I completed the retell or graphic organizer. And we're going to do that in just a minute. So we did retell the story by looking at the 4 main events, the 4 pictures. And also 3, I was able to answer most of the questions with the partner and completed the retell graphic organizer. Or 2, I was able to answer some of the questions and completed some of the graphic organizer. And again, we're going to do that right now. Or 1, I was not able to answer the questions and did not complete the graphic organizer. How do you think you did in answering the questions with me or with your partner? 4, 3, 2, or 1? All right, let's move on. We're going to skip this, and here's our completed retell. So first, we're going to talk about the characters, the setting where the story takes place, and the lesson or moral of the story. So we're going to jump from the characters, setting, and then down at the bottom, the fairy tale teaches us that it is better to be blank than selfish. So first of all, who are the characters in the story? The characters are the stepmother, Li, Yeh-Shen, the fish, and the king. Those were the main characters. So say that again. The characters are the stepmother, Li, Yeh-Shen, the fish, and the king. The setting is, where did the story take place? The setting is ancient China. Ancient China, because this is an old fairy tale from long ago. And down at the bottom, the fairy tale teaches us that it is better to be kind than selfish. Remember Yeh-Shen? She was kind. So here's our pictures. We're going to put them in the correct sequence or order. Do you remember this picture? First, then, and later, and last. So remember the first picture. First, Yeh-Shen lived with her mean stepmother Jin and her stepsister Li. She was kind, gentle, and a hard worker. When she was finished with one task, she would get 3 more. So then what happened? Her only friend was a golden fish with glimmering scales. And if you noticed, I underlined the vocabulary words task in the first picture and glimmering here. So I'll read it again. Her only friend was a golden fish with glimmering scales. Every day she shared her crumbs with the fish. Her stepmother was furious, so she caught the fish and cooked it for dinner. Later, the fish's bones had power to grant wishes. Yeh-Shen wished for beautiful clothes so that she could go to the festival. When she left the festival, one of her silk slippers fell off. She concealed the other in a pot. So there's our vocabulary word concealed. And last, the king was given the valuable lost slipper. When Yeh-Shen tried to get it back, the guards caught her. Yeh-Shen showed the king the other slipper, and he asked her to marry him. So let's reread the retell together. The characters are the stepsister, Li, Yeh-Shen, the golden fish, and the king. The setting is ancient China. First, Yeh-Shen lived with her mean stepmother Jin and her stepsister Li. She was kind, gentle, and a hard worker. When she was finished with one task, she would get 3 more. Then her only friend was a golden fish with glimmering scales. Every day she shared her crumbs with the fish. Her stepmother was furious, so she caught the fish and cooked it for dinner. Later, the fish's bones had power to grant wishes. Yeh-Shen wished for beautiful clothes so that she could go to the festival. When she left the festival, one of her silk slippers fell off. She concealed the other in a pot. Last, the king was given the valuable lost slipper. When Yeh-Shen tried to get it back, the guards caught her. Yeh-Shen showed the king and the other slipper, and he asked her to marry him. The fairy tale teaches us that it is better to be kind than selfish. Thank you, boys and girls, for doing the oral and written retell with me. Have a great day.